is a policy on that. Basically, all those registries, the 5 in the world, ARIN, LACNIC, RIPE, NCC, AFRINIC, and APNIC, they came together like a few months ago, I guess more than a year, and a decision has been taken how they're going to deal with the remaining IP addresses. For example, you can imagine that although, for example, AFRINIC in Africa, maybe they have a number of IP addresses that they are not using, and maybe another registry, ARIN, for example, in US or Caribbean, then they took a decision that based on where you are, maybe for the remaining IP addresses, still we can look away how we can deal with that. So there is a policy in place how we're going to deal with the remaining IP addresses.
Okay, and you mentioned also in your presentation that you mentioned something about country sites, and I'm wondering if, in fact, that policy might be adversely applied to smaller countries. For example, if you were saying based on population size, for example, if those IP addresses would be not withdrawn, but certainly if you would, in terms of your allocation, if you would reduce the allocation to countries based on size or some other factor.
So basically the possibility is there for, and I did mention just like an example, Seba, for example. That's just an example for you to know, given that Seba has only like 1,000 inhabitants. Normally, IPv4, the way that these addresses were allocated, that's in the number of 60 million IP addresses, minimum, are being allocated. And the opportunity or the possibility is there now, especially for smaller countries, because it's impossible for a country or an island. That's why I'm using Seba for you to get what I'm trying to explain. It's almost impossible for Seba, for example, to utilize 60 million IP addresses. So that's why the possibility is there to issue also smaller numbers, like just 1,000 IP addresses for smaller countries. Okay?
Yeah. Is it related to the same?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's anybody else who may have a pressing question. If not,
maybe just a comment. I've noticed, of course, we have a lot of questions on IPv6 and all these things. ICANN, let's say, does organize also workshops dealing with all these things. So if you guys would like to know much more on all these things, I can, let's say, bring, let's say, our experts. I'm the first point of contact, so I can bring our experts working with these things on a daily basis, and then we can organize workshops to get more information on what is going on. So feel free to contact me, and we can organize, if you guys want, a workshop here in St. Martin or Curacao or somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah, the CTU also has an IPv6 policy that will soon be published as well, specifically for the Caribbean. Okay.
Yeah, well, just touched something that just popped in my mind. You mentioned, like, say, Seba would not be able to use up 60 million IP addresses. But let's say for the big double advocate, let's say if they do request that 60 million, right, and they only use maybe 0.5% of it or less than that. But the rest of the IP addresses, they put it on eBay for other ISPs, whoever wants to, that maybe in their region it's already to capacity that they would be able to sell it or provide those services.
Okay. Remember, I did say that you need to provide like a plan, what you're going to do. So given, especially right now, that we don't have that number of IP addresses, and the country come with such a plan, that plan will be rejected. So just for you to take, because right now at this particular time in history we don't have